Hey, welcome back to Queer Arcana. We are now at chapter 6 of 7 of episode 7. The uploading has been going great. I'm really happy that we are on schedule. And before I go to the recap of the last chapter, let's go to the announcements. Once again, I want to remind you of the existence of our Patreon. It helps us do a lot of things that we want to do with this show. So if you have the brain space, please check it out and see if you can find the time to subscribe. Also, tomorrow we are hosting our first live stream session of the Arcana Lounge. That's what it's called. It's gonna be on Twitch. So that is really fun if you could check in and see what we're gonna do. So tomorrow in the Arcana Lounge, we are gonna review the first episode of Queer Arcana ever. We're gonna look back. I'm gonna give you some behind the scenes stories and generally explain how we produce Queer Arcana, the live shows, because I think that's an interesting piece of information. So check in tomorrow on Twitch. It's gonna be just Queer Arcana on Twitch, and I think that's gonna be very nice. Also want you to be aware of our Discord. The Discord is a more intimate place to get in touch with us and directly ask us questions. We'd love to get in touch with you and see who you are. So back to the recap of chapter 5. Last time we saw that the group brought home the Mirage Arcane and they planned the next step of their strategy of defending themselves. And what they came up with is that they cast the Mirage Arcane, which was an illusionary hill on top of the house that they're in, with a fake house on top of the illusionary hill. A great distraction. And they discussed about what they should do after, and they came to the conclusion that they are going to Eclaire's family with the old teleportation circle that is in the house, and they are going to ask the Mavis family for shelter, it seems, or any help in any way that they can. So we're gonna have an Eclaire episode. We're gonna go to their house, and I wonder how that will go. Enjoy.
You're standing in a different room. And it's completely empty as you see a very dark room, completely made of cobblestone walls with torches lining it. You see the study of Rawls, a lot of books chopped open. You hear footsteps in the distance, but he's not here at the moment.
Quickly, polymorph.
As both Virgo and Margot magically turn by Margot's magic into a black and white cat.
Yeah, Virgo is the black cat, Margot is the white cat.
No, I think you're a tabby orange, right?
Thank you, can I decide for my character
No.
what kind of fucking cat I am?
Discord among the DMs.
Okay, so Virgo is a black cat, Margot is a white cat, as they're both like meow meow, and Virgo's cat's like meow. You're standing in this room. It is very silent, but you feel quite at home already, Eclaire.
Alright, well first, we can go directly to the source of power, which is my mother.
As you still find yourself in this dark cobblestone room, the study of Rawls, you see the stairs leading upwards further into the cathedral.
Wow, this is really nice, Eclaire.
Very fancy.
I love the architecture.
Even though it looks like a dungeon, there's like... It's quite beautifully made, yeah.
The one with the most power in this hierarchy, my mother, that's Cornelia, is quite about the rules, and we just broke a lot of them. So I don't know if it's the best possibility to directly talk to her, or if we should try and talk to my teacher, because they still have this transportation cycle. They still have...
Couldn't we use your little brother instead? I mean, he's cuter.
and
He's
open-minded.
11.
I think that maybe if we can enforce the joy of the reunion of your family,
that might plead our case even more. If your brother is with us and he's really pleased that you're back and that you're safe.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right.
You are in the study right now, and that leads towards the lecture halls, and then towards the central winding staircases of the cathedral. So before you can go to another level, you have to go through the lecture halls at this moment. You look, by the way, in the study. Make me a perception check, Eclaire.
My perception is a -2.
Yes, I know.
And I've got a 13, so it's an 11.
You hear the faint but powerful sound of a choir-like singing in the distance, ever so slightly slipping in between the cobblestone walls surrounding you. You gather that it must be mass downstairs at this moment.
Shh, be quiet. If you're quiet, you can hear the seraphim sing.
You do hear this beautiful singing in the distance. What seems to be more than 100 people. Very far down.
Well, can we use it to, hurry up?
Virgo meows very, hastily, meow.
Maybe we should carry the cats. I'm picking up Virgo.
Virgo kind of scoots away. Virgo just starts walking up the stairs.
Let's just go find your brother.
It's so chill. I don't have to talk. I can just push you in the right direction.
You can silently judge us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Silent.
As Virgo kind of scoots up the stairs, Margot Cat kind of joins behind, meow, meow, meow. Come on, that's the tone.
I love this.
She'll follow you. I just did an impression of you as a cat.
Yeah. Was it fun?
No.
Oh. Okay, I was just literally making coffee for you.
No, I love you.
Thank you. It's coming out.
So as you start to ascend the staircase back towards or up towards the study halls where you saw your little brother.
Of course we are
Well, then roll
stealthy.
fucking stealth check.
Damn.
Well, okay.
Oh,
By the way,
No!
Jessica and Eclaire have disadvantage on stealth.
I know.
I just had a natural 20.
But
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
know,
roll
but you
Yeah,
have to have
again.
your
roll
armor
it
on.
again.
Or do you not have your armor on? I think you do, right?
Why should I take it off?
Yeah, she
you
sleeps
have-
in it.
Yeah. That's extremely unhealthy. Okay,
12, so it's an 11 mine.
You are
Stealthing with an 11.
stealthing.
Are we though?
You're not, darling.
I had a 6, but hey, I'm here for it.
This is a marvelous place. It's definitely a rich household, as you can see by the design.
You come into a beautiful study-like room, a lecture hall of sorts. There's bookcases everywhere that go towards the ceiling. There's books fucking everywhere. And there's a number of rows of empty wooden school benches, clearly designated for a small class of children. And then you see there, in one of these school benches, you see sitting a young boy you saw before, August Mavis, the 11-year-old brother, the youngest of the family of Eclaire. And as he's studying very deeply in his notes, and then kind of looks up. What?
August.
Eclaire.
Hey.
As he kind of jumps up, kind of looks around if Rawls is there, and then kind of jumps up and grabs you by the waist and gives you a hug.
August, we need to be quite quiet. You see, I'm here with some friends, and they are getting me to this safe space. They got me home.
But you were gone for so long. I'm so glad you're back.
You've grown so much.
I
What are you
know.
learning?
Oh, it's faith stuff.
About the seraphim.
Mm-hmm.
As you see, sort of in front of him, this standard book. You have also read this as a child. I mean, like everyone in Alberia sort of has to read this. It's classic Alberian ideology.
August, I would like to let you meet some friends of mine.
You brought friends?
I now have friends.
Jessica and Maru stand awkwardly in
I
the
wish
back.
I had friends. Well, are they nice?
They are nice. This one there, that's...
I'm pushing Jessica forward.
No, I'm pulling you
Blue
with
and
me.
horned.
And as you
Come
kind of
on.
push yourselves forward, you both tumble into the room, and his eyes kind of go wide. He kind of sees a beautifully armored a young woman with two swords on her back, and then this Modri, a wizard in beautiful purple silks and golds, and he stands there, eyes wide, like doesn't know what to say. And
August, greet them like you've
I'm
learned.
sorry, and kind of stands up and instantly bows like a school child. And
Almost like a little bit with a military reflex.
yes, absolutely. Sorry, I'm not sure what I'm to say.
The thing is, they're not superior, so you may say anything you wish.
His eyes go
like,
wide again. He's like, wow.
ask something about the horns.
Dear reader, wizard people, do not ask about the horns.
Oh my god. He kind of looks up and says, "You're blue. That's amazing."
You see him look a little bit at you and then sort of look at the book, sort of like trying to look up what the Alberian ideology has to say on this.
Kind of looks in this book and sees a number of pictures of what Seraphim were to look like. You kind of look like them.
Like who?
And he puts the book towards you, and you see like this manifestations of different colors of light, it seems, which are supposed to be seraphims. Like, this one's blue too.
It is.
Huh, who would have thought?
Maru also went to school.
Sorry, this is all very overwhelming. It's so nice that you're back.
Do you
Should I go get rolls?
No, we're going to have a family reunion of some sorts.
Really?
Well, not with everybody, because everybody is of course not here, but
Well, the twins are here.
where are they?
Well, I believe they just came back yesterday, so they should be perhaps in their rooms.
Are they kind to you?
Well, I like Corin. Corin gives me gifts, but I don't know, Hadrian is a little bit harsh sometimes.
Well, I do believe that we can talk to them later, but let's first go to Mama.
I last saw them in the war room.
In the war room.
Uh-huh.
What's a war room?
That's a room where we prepare for war. So,
He kind of stares at you when you say it at first, and then stares towards the ground, and then his eyes go wide. You brought a cat. You brought 2 cats. And he starts
brought a
walking
pet
away, and he starts walking down after Virgo and Margot, who just like, meow.
Deus ex machina.
Margot has disappeared downwards. I think August has like started following you. Virgo kind of follows you still. Isn't able to say anything because she's a fucking cat. Where are you going to go? Because you hear footsteps in the hallways. You don't know if they're coming into the lecture hall or not.
We should probably vacate this area for now.
exactly, I think we should go to the main hall.
Okay, lead the way.
Just so you know, this is built into a huge cathedral. Above, like the central part of the cathedral, which is the public area, is built your castle, your mansion, as to say. The first level is lecture halls.
Fancy.
The second lecture is like war rooms, etc. And then personal chambers, etc.
Maru, I think we should leave now to the central staircase so we can go up to the personal chamber of Mama.
Where does your mom stay?
How about the war room?
Girls, let's take our
Fine.
rivalry out of this room. Come on, let's go.
As you stumble out of the lecture hall, are you still stealthing or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Roll me stealth check.
Again.
Eclaire and Jessica with disadvantage.
Uh-huh.
From the back from which you came, you hear this voice.
Natural 20 and a 16.
Oh.
From the back, you hear this voice. I hope you've reached page 760 already.
Oh, fuck.
It's
Kind of almost exactly the voice I had for Rawls.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
Cat sisters.
it's a 3 plus 4, so that's gonna be a 7.
9. Okay, keep that in mind. And you had like a 17, right?
I'll remember that.
Yeah. Okay, so Eclaire is high. The other two, not so much on their rolls, which I'll keep in mind. As you reach the giant door that leads towards the central part, you kind of open it up silently. It does creak a little bit, and you start to see the entirety of the Celestial Tower, the central part of the Celeste One, your home. It's an immense, winding marble hallway, almost like in a winding staircase, like a corkscrew that goes up and up almost infinitely, it seems, and it leads to some unknown peak. Everything is marvelously illuminated by grand stained glass windows that reach from the floor to the ceiling far, far above, almost 15 meters above you. These are immensely broad, huge hallways that seem to spiral upwards toward you don't know where. And it's the stained glass ceilings seem to depict a story. The closer you get to the top of the cathedral tower, and you know, Eclaire, that it depicts a story of your house and your father.
Quick decision. Should we go to my mother's bedchamber, or is she with the others at the service?
I would say, Eclaire, you probably presume that she's in the throne room at the peak of the Celestial Tower, because your father isn't really able to move anymore, so she has to accompany him at all times, and he's always sitting in the throne room.
We should go to the throne room, but I do believe I should go alone into the room.
Why? We need to clear our name. You being able to go home is a nice benefit for you, but we need to make sure that we clear our name.
Sounds like such a good plan. I'm gone.
Jessica just walks upstairs, further up the hallway,
I'm gone.
We
as
also
you
need
pick
to
up
go up.
Virgo, who's
Welcome
very
to the family.
uncomfortable in your arms. Okay, as you pass these silhouettes, these beautiful stained glass windows, you can't help but look at what it's depicting, because it is very on the nose, it seems. The first you pass, it seems to have like numbers. Right now it's 1399, so almost the year 1400. The first one that you pass depicts the year 1277, so more than 120 years ago. And it is depicting Magnus Mavis, your father, 120 years ago, as a child being born in early Septon.
They are very powerful, although a lot of that power have gone to the twins nowadays. It's the way that they weaken while the other ones rise, and they were so young right here. They were so innocent still.
I'm gonna ask you a rude question.
Go ahead.
When you speak of your family, you speak a lot about power structures and formalities, but you're a family, right? Why are you all so walled off?
Well, I suppose that if you look at Margot, for example, she's quite, well, touchy, and she's quite... It's strange to me. Here, it's the things that you do that matter, not the things that you feel.
You feel like this sort of hardship when Eclaire says it, almost like she's trying to rhyme what she's seen in her youth with what she's seeing now of the world. But it doesn't make sense. I mean, she tells a lot about order and structure here, which you do see a lot of.
Did your parents ever...
Hit me, yeah, but that's not
Yeah.
important.
Okay, that came out wrong. No.
The speed with which that hit her lips.
Okay.
We don't have that much time. We need to go on. We don't have that much time. Let's go.
Jessica, as they're talking about this, your eyes kind of caught the fact that there's a lot of sun symbology in the stained glass windows, which it reminds you vaguely of your father's works and insignia. But it's very subtle. Most of the stained glass art scenes, they just have multiple suns like shining upon them. As you kind of look, like 120 years ago, the father was born, which strangely long ago. 10 years later, you see a fresco of him playing with a character who has a name, like as a halo around it, Solidor the First. And Magnus and Solidor were apparently playing as children together, seemingly divided by different families. So Magnus was very rich and Solidor was very poor, living in Septon. And then you see them at the age of probably 20 or so. It's near 1300 the year, and it seems to be a fresco of them all grown up, and a scene which is very central to the history, namely that Solidor rallies the lower aristocracy of Elberia to rise against the great houses of Elberia that have divided it by blood feuds for a long time. And Magnus is then kneeling at Solidor's side, almost acting like his right hand, and you see definitely like a power structure beginning to rise here, and they depict it, House Mavis, with the utmost arrogance and reputation, like this is us. A couple years later, you see them riding into battle under the flag of a red rose, the alliance that started the empire, capturing city and city until Nice was captured. And then 18 years later, in 1320, 80 years ago, you see that Magnus and his wife had their first child, and they are surrounded by all sorts of luminous figures of vaguely humanoid creatures, made of pure light, donning large wings, which are holding hands around the couple in a big circle, almost as if blessing them in their union. And you see depicted that Magnus and his first wife find out that their children have magical potency, in a sense. And then the end fresco is just a big Mavicine red rose with a white crown at the top. Very, very large, with a curling golden sun behind it.
Huh.
And then you see a painting, and then you see a sign with War Room up ahead.
Well, you know,
You are going to get me back to my mother.
well, why don't we hurry up to your mom,
Yes.
which is that way, I believe.
We have to go up the stairs again, yes.
So bedroom, war room, throne room. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go where we're going.
Jessica kind of pushes you forward. You do pass Eclaire's chambers.
Can
Do
we
you want to
sneak a
go in?
peek? Yeah.
So you all follow Jessica. Jessica just starts sprinting with Virgo cat in her arms. You kind of almost kick open the door to Eclaire's chambers. There's nobody in there. It's very silent, and it has been dusted and cleaned, and it's almost perfectly neat, almost exactly as you remember it. Like it was prepared for your return somehow. And then on the cabinet is a glass container with an ever-growing red rose, which was gifted to you as a child by your mother, Cornelia.
Warmth. That's the thing that I did get. Warmth.
So there was a key somewhere in the room,
Make me an
right?
investigation check, Jessica.
I'm just gonna be like looking while they're talking.
Jessica is not subtle with trying to
No.
find for stuff. So you just enter Eclaire's room and you start pulling
12.
stuff out.
I want to see Papa. I want to see Papa so badly. I don't know.
Sorry.
Jessica!
Jessica sort of goes in between you, trying to look for more things, opening cabinets.
Eclaire is just looking around, seeing her room being molested, and she walks towards the cabinet, unlocks it. I don't want people to see my stuffed animals. Opens the closet.
Jessica does not look ashamed at all.
This one here.
You take out a cabinet filled with stuffed animals as Eclaire takes one particular one out.
It's just sickly sweet. Everything is like you're dripping with sugar.
Yeah,
It's
Kawaii.
bubblegum princess.
This one is called Ikuchiko, and you can zip it open. This is the key to the roll room.
So as you kind of zip it open, and here's the key to the war room, and you look at Jessica, and Jessica already has it in her hand. Because you
Snatched.
did roll quite a decent investigation check.
What? How?
What? I needed a key.
Jessica, Gail, my room is a mess. They will find out that somebody...
Uh-huh. You know, you have servants. I never had a servant. I mean, I had to clean my own room. I will see you guys later in the war room.
Jessica just darts out of the room.
Gotta go.
Lars,
That girl's gonna get
Do you do
herself
anything
killed
else?
someday. You were saying you wanted to see your father, but you've been speaking of your mother a lot. So, what about him?
you do look at this huge painting, this Renaissance painting of their family, and you, at the top it says Mater Virtua, which is stood atop Cornelia's head, Eclaire's mother, and then at the other it says the Arc Seed, which is stood atop the head of Magnus Mavis, Eclaire's father, and then around them you see 25 children, of which Eclaire is one. Magnus Mavis stands at the center, and he's clearly a lot older than the rest. He's
Iris is currently making reeling sounds. Sort of like she's break outside of fantasy world. Iris is so literally she's gagging.
25 children's
You have a
birthed.
family with 25 children.
They all seem on the portrait extremely well dressed in like suits with like one shoulder piece of armor, like an insignia, and they're all like these perfectly doll-like children. It seems. Hands on the shoulder of Magnus. On one side is Cornelia, and on the other are the two oldest children, the twins, called Corin and Hadrian, which seem almost like these perfect Aryan children. You hurry up across these beautiful angelic cathedral hallways as you leave the others behind, Jessica.
Yeah, you were done with that bullshit like 5 scenes ago.
As you take the key, which is a dark iron, you kind of put it in the slot which says War Room on this big door. As you kind of click it open, and it's a very heavy door. You kind of push it open. Make me a stealth check.
Oh, jeez.
This is the house also that you envisioned yourself once living in.
Yes,
this
absolutely.
is rich.
This is
Steady
like
girl.
the princess
Rich.
fantasy.
Oh, it's not that. It's 19 and 11, so it's gonna be a 15.
15, okay, that's really good. You sneak in this war room, hope no one's in there. Your heart pounds ever so slightly, and you're like, and then you look, and the war room's empty. The torches are still burning, but you see a large oval room at the center, this triangular table, upon which are laid a huge map of Toussaint with multiple daggers stuck in the wood and sort of miniatures depicting, seems to be encampments and soldier squads, etc. Seems to be detailing sort of where legionnaire squads are posted, and there's a lot of them in Doran. Seems Doran is heavily militarized at this point, especially around Orzon. You can't help to feel terrible about your home in the sense where you see so many legionnaire squadrons positioned around Orzon, almost like to prevent people from coming out in a sense. And then you see on the table lying a large leather scroll case, but the scrolls inside are slightly rolled open still, as if closed in a hurry. And you also see a letter next to it, folded shut with an official Empire seal on it, addressed to Cornelia.
Well, seeing as how there's a letter there addressed to Cornelia, I might like just put it in my boot for later inspection.
It doesn't seem like a long letter, by the way, just a small note.
Oh, it's small. Oh, no.
So you can
it's
probably
gonna-
read it quite quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it while I'm doing it.
It says, an eye is to be kept as an advice upon the witches of the association and communication with Imelda Violet in particular. It seems that, or the letter informs, that Imelda's request for the rollout of the Forge Fleet project has yet been denied by Emperor Saladin I, and she's being monitored for further transgressions of her positional duties as head of the association. In the corner of the letter, you see written, file in cabinet secundus in lecture hall back room. And that's all you see.
Oh, okay. So which means we've got to go back to the lecture room to get those files out, which might incriminate Imelda Violet or help us in some way. Well, storing this information in the back of my head, I look around the room for some...
You still see the large leather scroll case, where the scroll is kind of hurriedly closed and it's partially open.
What does the scroll say, by the way?
You can roll it out to see. It's a large scroll. Okay, as you whoosh it open. You start to read it, and it is a long and complicated piece. And it's also in a dialect, so it's hard to read for you as a Doranese.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's hard to ascertain what is being
Seraphim.
told here, because it seems to be in some sort of code. But make me an intelligence check.
I've got you one better. You know who I got with me?
Virgo.
Virgo.
She's also a cat, and she now has an intelligence of 4 or something.
I'm gonna be like, Virgo cat, you're the smart one, so just read this.
Okay,
and
Virgo Cat
remember it.
just lands on the scroll that you put on the table, and Virgo Cat just goes, and then just starts to roll up and just eat their own tail a little bit.
Then gets up again, and then looks at the scroll case, and then starts to push it off the table.
No. I tried to grab it from her.
I'll make a dexterity saving throw because that scroll's gonna fall.
Oh no. It's a 4, so it's
The
gonna
scroll
be
six falls on the ground and it reverberates, it echoes through the hall. It's cling, 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 cling. Virgo Cat looks at you a little bit
And so you
naughtily
hear that.
with the little paw off the table.
Really, Virgo? God damn it. Okay. I want to quick scan the long scroll first, just to see if I need to have any information.
It's you read, and you get the feeling that you can ascertain sort of what this is about, but it's all in code, like they're talking about food rations, etc. And then it kind of hits you. This is about a plan of attack or something. And it talks about something close to an edge, and you get the feeling that they're talking about the fine line. An ambush, perhaps, but there's no target described, just a number of soldiers, rations, and a location. jot it down, and the rest is in code.
Okay, but what's the location exactly? What is
It is in between Arlevo and the Baron Citadel, so at the very, very edge of the fine line, the very, very center of Toussaint, in between the three nations, so like the three-nation point. Oh, by the way, in your hurry, I forgot to mention very strategically that on the wall is a large glass casing with a beautiful silver halberd stuck on the wall.
Oh!
You only notice it now because it's very high up.
Oh, wait.
And it
how-
seems to be holding some sort of scrolling, and definitely looks like the best sort of weapon you've ever seen.
In the meantime, Virgo Cat knocks over an inkwell.
Virgo!
It's kind of Eclaire and Maru re-enter the room, having heard the sound.
Jessica!
What are you doing?
I didn't do anything. The cat was doing everything.
Speaking of Virgo Cat.
This is supposed to be my brothers. Why are you looking at this?
Oh, they're planning an attack.
What?
We're not supposed to look at this. We're not supposed to know this.
There's a lot of ink on it also.
Did you do this?
You say as you hold up Virgo against the light.
They're planning an attack on the fine line.
What are we gonna do? Are we gonna take this with us or are we gonna leave it here?
I mean, we could take it with us.
Let's-
I mean, you know.
Let's take it with us.
True.
And then if it's too incriminating, we can decide to
Yeah.
leave it in a closet somewhere
Yeah.
halfway.
There's now also ink on your hands.
There's ink on my hands and I go like, oh no. Well, let's do it like this. And I'm inkless.
So as
Yeah.
you cast
Okay.
The
Prestidigitation,
scroll is now also blank.
as you, no, that is not how that works.
how that works. It's just a cleaning spell. You can just clean
Okay,
shit.
fine, sure. As you prestidigitate the ink away, part of the scroll becomes blank as well.
Great job.
Okay, how about we leave before we make even more of a mess?
Military secrets,
Okay.
all gone.
Just
I'm gonna
bef-
take the scroll with me.
Okay, as you take the scroll with you, you kind of push it under your cloak with your armor.
From the back of the hallway, you hear steps come closer.
Okay.
Let's go.
Outside of the room.
Yeah.
Lock the door.
What do you do? Oh,
I'm gonna cast
John
Gust
is just
to
like-
push the halberd towards me.
It's in a metal. It's in a glass container.
Well, then I'm gonna
Jessica, let's go. We're here to
magic
clear.
missile.
Yeah, I love that.
Magic missile.
Quick on your feet.
What
so
are you
all these
doing?
arcane missiles just shoot
Okay,
out.
okay. This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. Where the
Magic
door,
missile!
where the door is already closed, you hear a, and then very faintly. And as you look down, they're thusly far ahead that you don't think that they heard it, but you definitely did. Make me an athletics check
An athletics check.
to catch it. I think that's
3,
still a 10,
2,
right?
5. Yeah.
Yeah?
No, 9.
That's a 10.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's still,
okay.
that's still a neutral
Yeah.
roll, so that succeeds.
So it isn't elegantly, but it definitely lands in your hands. It's a little bit fumblingly, and you're now in the possession of a.
It is a beautifully long halberd. It seems very much like Eclaire's, but much older, and it has a lot of these runic inscriptions on it. It has
Definitely-
parchment, almost like this crusade-like parchment, are wrapped around it in like this dark green and gold. And it has embedded like in the axe part of it at the top, it has the engraving of a red rose with a white crown.
We need to go to Mama before they reach us. Run.
What? Okay. Can we just leave Jessica here? How are we gonna clear her name if she's breaking?
Do you wrap it in anything? Do you wrap it in like cloth or something? Let's say you take your cloak and you kind of wrap it in your
Yeah.
cloak, and you have like
That's
like
fantastic.
as if you have a bundle of sticks.
Yeah.
Let's go up.
Are you running?
Wait.
Yes.
Enough talking. Let's go.
Let's go
Let's
up.
discuss this upstairs.
I will
Clear.
give it to you upstairs.
As you all just bicker and just run up the stairs.
Start to run. I would say make me all a athletics check. You can use your bardic inspiration for someone if you want to, Maru. This is a group check, so it doesn't matter if one fails. At least if everyone.
I've got a 15.
Are you going to use your bardic inspiration for this?
No, I'm saving it for an emergency.
Okay.
I rolled a 17 minus 1, so even I am athletic.
Okay, so you run up these stairs.
Oh, holding the cash.
Jessica, with glee, as she has snatched a beautiful trophy. Well done. Go, Queen.
Thank you.
Okay, as you
It looks like a very powerful weapon, though. It might be a pretty good thing to have, actually.
as you run up, you come towards this huge double doors, which go up about 6 meters. They're a dark green metal. It seems they have these two inclines where you can push the door open, but you get the feeling that it will take all of you. Do you push it open?
Yeah.
I'll hold Virgo Cat like a rugby ball and I'll start pushing.
As you start pushing with the three of you, the door open. It's very heavy, but as you do it, flows, and then you see a huge throne room, a large rectangular hallway with 4 statues of different looking Mavis paladine, all on a horse, with a halberd on one side and this dark green, beautiful green and gold armor on, which in the center of the throne room, like illuminated by this huge stained glass light of all different sort of colors, you see a raised pedestal with on the floor like this insignia of a rose, and then a U made of marble, in which sits a very strange looking man.
Hey babes! Before you continue watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our Patreon, where you can help us develop this crazy show further.